I'm not a racist, preach the teacher. You still they never had this. Number one, them wanna run about the gun. I wasn't licensed to have one. The minute they see me, fear me. I'm the epitome, a public enemy. Use, abuse, without clues. I refuse to blow fuse. They even had it on the news. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Back when I wrote y'all, yes.
I want to dive into the Israel-Palestine section of the book. It's the largest section of the book. And I have to say, when I read the book, I imagine if I took your name out of it, took away the awards and the acclaim, took the cover off the book, the publishing house goes away, the content of that section would not be out of place in the backpack of an extremist.
I have a very, 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 very moral compass about this. And again, perhaps it's because of my ancestry. Either apartheid is right or it's wrong.
And I've been having this internal conversation about the power of media, but also our complicity, right? Because, you know, these narratives are crafted somewhere in a room, much the way, you know, folk got together and divvied up Africa a bunch of times. But the first time to divvy up Africa was about enslaving folk. And like in Portugal, y'all get these countries, and, you know, Great Britain, you get the Caribbean Isles, and what we call the United States, you get the others. And you have this, you know, they divvied up the continent of Africa based on black bodies, and then they came back and did it again with King Leopold to divvy it up for resources, right? Now they're coming back and doing it again, except now a lot of these African nations and these Caribbean nations have what they call sovereignty, and they're not having it. And they're speaking out in a way that I have never seen before, and it's important, right? I sit here as a free black woman in America, and while, yes, my quote-unquote income is tied to this space that we're in now, fortunately, it's not only tied to this space. And I could absolutely survive and thrive outside of this space. And that's an important thing, because it allows you to be free and not be tethered to a conversation or a narrative, or be able to, because I'm sitting there watching Ta-Nehisi Coates today with Gayle King sitting there. I forgot the brother's name. He's very, very handsome. I think he used to play football, co-host. Yeah. And then Nate Burleson, thank you. And then the Tony guy is asking all of the questions, and they're sitting there, and I was like, is that for optics? Are y'all positioning? Because y'all had a meeting this morning.
It was
you had a meeting.
Silent. Yeah.
Okay. You had a meeting, and you decided that you were going to ambush this man because one of you read the book. Don't think all of you read the book. One of you definitely read the book, and it was personal to you. So you took the lead to ask questions, and you don't know the answers. You don't have the answers, Sway. You don't have the answers. So you're running into a thing with your limited view, but for the first time, you across from somebody who's free. Doesn't need your damn program to sell his books. I promise you, Ta-Nehisi Coates is going to sell his books, okay? He was a bestseller Between the World and Me before y'all, okay? He's doing you a favor coming on your little funky show that I don't know how many people watch.
What is it that so particularly offends you about the existence of a Jewish state that is a Jewish safe place and not any of the other states out there?
There's nothing that offends me about a Jewish state. I am offended by the idea of states built on ethnocracy, no matter where they are.
Muslim included.
I would not want a state where any group of people laid down their citizenship rights based on ethnicity. The country of Israel is a state in which half the population exists on one tier of citizenship, and everybody else that's ruled by Israelis exists on another tier, including Palestinian Israeli citizens. The only people that exist on that first tier are Israeli Jews. Why do we support that? Why is that okay? I'm the child of Jim Crow. I'm the child of people that were born into a country where that was exactly the case, of American apartheid. I walk over there and I walk through the occupied territories and I walk down the street in Hebron. And a guy says to me, I can't walk down the street unless I profess my religion.
The freedom to be able to tell the damn truth and not be worried about who's going to cancel me. Malcolm, speaking the truth, the nation kicks him out because the heat is too hot. We can't withstand the heat that's coming down because you said the chickens are coming home to roost. You got to go. Sir, pack your bags. No. No, we can't. Martin Luther King, too hot. Black people like, bring in too many white people come. Yeah, they mad. You got white people mad? No, stop doing that. Stop it. We, and fear is important. It's an important emotion, I think, because the danger is real. You got people in here that will, Kyle Rittenhouse, walk into a protest and shoot people. You got people in this country that will absolutely blow up stuff and kill people just because, right? So I get the fear, but you can only die once. A coward dies 1,000 times, right? So
the voice he had in that interview, I watched it multiple. I was like, oh, my chest was tightening up. I don't know. I mean, you know me. I'll pop off. I don't know if I could.
You do. Yes, you do.
Just so. I just don't know if I. And when he was like, apartheid is either right or it's wrong.
Why leave out that Israel is surrounded by countries that want to eliminate it? Why leave out that Israel deals with terror groups that want to eliminate it? Why not detail anything of the first and the second intifada, the cafe bombings, the bus bombings, the little kids blown to bits? And is it because you just don't believe that Israel in any condition has a right to exist?
Well, I would say the perspective that you just outlined, there is no shortage of that perspective in American media. That's the first thing I would say. I am most concerned always with those who don't have a voice, with those who don't have the ability to talk. The reporters of those who believe more sympathetically about Israel and its right to exist don't have a problem getting their voice out. But what I saw in Palestine, what I saw on the West Bank, what I saw in Haifa in Israel, what I saw in the South Hebron Hills, those were the stories that I have not heard.
All right.
But what in that moment, we could have had this, and I'm saying it just like we could have had this conversation. This conversation needed to be had. What Ta-Nehisi Coates is bringing needed to be had. We should have always been having this conversation, but too many people were afraid that their personal economy might be impacted. And then people not even, because it's unspoken. Oh, you can't talk about that. So then people don't talk about it. And then they go out of their way to provide coverage or to skirt. I'm like, okay, interesting. We got all these so-called leaders. Where are y'all? Civil rights leaders, activists. Activists go out and put themselves on the line when it's not popular. Muhammad Ali was not popular, lost his whole career, but he was not going to Vietnam to fight people because you're my enemy. You're the one keeping me on the back of the bus and deny my rights. I don't know those people over there. Lost everything, was called everything but a child of God. No one loved him until he couldn't speak anymore. But while Muhammad Ali was speaking, that was courage. And then for all of those black athletes to sit with him at that table, the Jim Browns and the Bill Russells and the Lou Alcindors who became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, they put their careers on the line, but the strength in numbers. And they didn't lose their careers standing behind Muhammad Ali. More of that is what I want to see. More of that. And Ta-Nehisi Coates also, if you're going to be a writer, this is what I was like, yeah. If you're going to have a microphone, if you're going to be a writer, make it make sense. Do something with that. You got the ability to sway people with words. Damn it, you better do something to change the world for the better. You better make a difference. You got a microphone? He. No. Yeah, we have time to laugh. But if you have anybody's ear hole and eyeballs, do something positive with that. Or sit your ass down somewhere. We got enough of this. The world is on fire. Put it out.
But if you were to read this book, you would be left wondering, why does any of Israel exist? What a horrific place, committing horrific acts on a daily basis. So I think the question is central and key. If Israel has a right to exist, and if your answer is no, then I guess the question becomes, why do the Palestinians have a right to exist? Why do 20 different Muslim countries have a right to exist?
My answer is that no country in this world establishes its ability to exist through rights. Countries establish their ability to exist through force, as America did. And so I think this question of right to Israel does exist. It's a fact. The question of its right is not a question that I would be faced with any other country.
My days are cooler, nights are warmer, and I put the blame on you. Time moves slow, but my heart beats faster. When these eyes are looking right at you, you give me something to believe in, just what I needed. You're the closest.